All right, and we are live. All right, when we're live. Okay. Hello.
Do you have your stizzy?
Yeah.
You want to pull it out?
Sure.
Thank you. If you feel like free rolling, I got this baggie.
Oh, I'm good.
How about?
I had 2 joints of that biscotti Sunday, so
Jesus.
I'm pretty fucking blasted right now.
I would guess so, my brother.
Anyways, I'm Ace.
Mags.
Mags.
Tim.
Tim. Welcome to Joint Point Podcast, where we view bullshit, the world's bullshit, through a certain perspective lens. As you know, this is Pineapple Express.
I got a baggie of shake we might roll up.
Yeah. Today's topic I'm going to title Morally Political or Politically Moral.
Okay.
I thought I'd get, Mark Twain with this shit,
Get a little fancy with it. I'm sure our teachers at Durand English would love that.
Yeah.
We're actually using something from their class for once. Holy shit.
Now let me tell you the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, but how do we do taxes again?
Yeah, but anyways, I thought we'd go over the topic of people politicizing, morality, or doing what's right, Like I hate how that is being turned into like this political weapon. It's like, oh, you don't like these type of people, well then that means you're this political party. Oh, you don't like this policy, well then that means you must agree with these type of insert party here. I mean,
it's all group think, party think. People, every individual has their own free will. We're only supposed to come together for the common good.
Right, like fuck this party loyalty bullshit.
Exactly.
I mean, you
follow your values, follow your heart.
Yeah, follow your own personal values. If that value tends to align with this other person, or this politician, or this policy, or what the fuck ever, then that's a good thing. But you should never, try to weaponize your own values in order to get people to come to your side. I feel like that's stupid.
Or weaponize someone else's beliefs to get people to your side.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah, because, nowadays we got a lot of religious theocrats, running around trying to play wannabe dictator. And there was actually a study that just came out recently where like 50% of American people think that there's going to be like a civil war part 2 or something.
It's possible. I
think that would be stupid,
Yes.
It would be incredibly stupid to have a civil war, because once the breakdown of society happens and the fucking government collapses and that shit, who do you think's gonna take over? The people with all the fucking money, aka corporations. Can you imagine having to fucking fight for human rights from like Jeff Bezos or something?
Or the Walmart family?
Yeah, or the fucking Rothschilds or what the fuck ever. It's like, excuse me, sir, I know you're making millions and trillions of dollars, but...
May I have another morsel for my last meal of the day?
Alright, pretty please?
Pretty please, may I have some extra, sir?
And then they'll probably do that standard response, well, we're making record profits, which means that we can't afford it. And listen to that logic for a second. We're making record profits, so we can't afford it. I've literally heard that term, that sentence used before, and my head exploded when I heard it.
Where'd you hear that, if you don't mind me asking?
It was...
Just don't make it libel.
Right, yeah. It was from the The Red Can people. One of the representatives of the Red Can people.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right.
Like, they're supposed to help people.
They're supposed to.
Well, actually, they do help people. Because when I was homeless, they gave me a 48-hour hotel voucher of a hotel of my choosing. $200 gift card for groceries only at Meijer or Walmart.
That's not bad. I mean, I won't deny that they can do good things, but
They
I
can
feel
do
like
more.
I was
They can
gonna
do way more.
I mean, like I feel like a lot of times now, though, they do like the good deeds thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want one?
They do like the good deeds thing just so that they have like a shield, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that way they can do all the evil shit that they want. But then, like, if somebody tries to criticize them, they'll be like, "Oh,
Well, I do this for others, but I'm
Well,
so selfish over here. I give
You know-
5% to other people. Let me show all that, but 95% is bullshit and evil.
Yeah, it's like, why does your one good deed
Outweigh your 1,000 sins.
Right? Yeah. So, like, you know, and I'm rambling again. But,
No, you're not, dude. Keep going, man. Like, it's all based on the karmatic system. You know, karma.
Yeah.
Your good's gotta outweigh your bad. You have to feel like you're doing good.
Yeah. I mean, and it's in your. I know morality is subjective and everything based on personality and life experience and all that.
Individual
And
values.
individual values and all that wonderful shit. But you know what makes a society function better is when we all help each other out, you know, and we don't let stupid culture values get in the way. You know, not that culture itself is stupid, but like the values.
Society is most proper. You know what I'm trying to say. Profiterous.
Yeah.
When we exchange and help each other. When we exchange goods freely and help each other freely.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was, you know, I'm a huge advocate of like, you know, the universal healthcare program because it would save us money, you know, and
Depending on how it's ran and how it's implemented.
well, it would literally save us money because like our medication is so fucking high because we don't negotiate drug costs. We leave it up to the free market. And the free market does what it always does best, is that it extrapolates profits. And that shouldn't happen if, like, somebody
It's
is
not
going
exactly
through...
a free market, though. It's more of an oligarchy / corporation.
They take advantage of current existing laws within, you know, how the market is currently ran.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, it's structured in a way where they can do pretty much anything they want, you know.
Need another water?
No, I'm good. But yeah, fucking
That's some life-changing water right there, huh?
yeah, it is.
Well, you go on a good rant and then you have a good drink of water, you feel better.
Yeah.
But back to like more like free market capitalism, the way it's supposed to work is the best price and the best made thing wins. It's a balance between what's the best made and what's the best price is how it's supposed to be. And they're supposed to balance each other out. Like gas is not supposed to be almost $5 a gallon. It's supposed to be like $1 or less. But because of OPEC and other corporation nations,
And because we don't nationalize our own gas.
yes, we sell all of our gas and then buy back gas.
Yeah. We sell it for high prices and buy it back for low. So that
Because the entire world money and world governments are based on oil.
Yeah, that's why I was against the Stone Pipeline because that would literally just
Move oil from Canada to us.
right, and it would only just make companies more powerful, and America would never see a
But-
penny of that oil go towards us.
But here's the thing. If we had the Keystone Pipeline, could it not be extended throughout Canada to Alaska oil fields, and then from Alaska to us. And then we
There's
could
also
trade.
the land displacement issue that I have as well.
Oh, displacing Inuits and natives and
Exactly.
state nationalists in Alaska.
Yeah, exactly. And throughout Canada,
Yep.
you know, there was that issue as well. And it's not like an afterthought or something. It's just you know, I really think that if we're gonna extract oil and shit, even though like I'm a huge green guy, we should have at least access to our own fucking oil.
At least
none
till
of
we
none of
can-
this $5 a gallon bullshit.
Exactly.
You know, like they're literally taking advantage of a current tax law that allows them to fucking charge that much. Because April, they said in April, there was an article where it said in April 14, a cost of a drum of oil, it was literally the same price as it is now, but back then gas was $3.20 or some shit like that. And it's like, okay, why is it so expensive? And then they'll say, well, it's inflation. No, that's bullshit, okay? You're using that as a shield. There is no, I mean, there's inflation, but that's not why the price is so high.
It's because corporations and oligarchies control the market. That's why. Evil
And
people control the market.
they'll market everything. They would be the type of people where if we started rationing out water because the ocean dried up or some shit, they would charge like $100 a glass or whatever. You know, like that would be those type of people. Like, it's insanity. Like, how dare you market human values? You know, to create and use it as like propaganda and shit. And then you create buzzwords, you know? Like, I remember watching old commercials from back in, like, the 40s and 30s, you know? It's like, your friend may be a communist, you know? That Red Scare thing, you know? They don't even know what it meant half
What
the
about
time.
reefer madness?
Yeah, they didn't even know what it meant half the time. They're just like communism. You know, it's just like the 21st century term, or the 20th century term of, you know, she's a witch. You know? That's literally all it is.
Well, there are okay witches, but there are very evil witches as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like everything that when
Just
it comes
like everything,
well,
there's
like
good people
when
and
it
evil.
comes to human nature, literally everything is subjective.
Exactly.
You know, values and culture and religion and faith and morals and whatever be damned. You know, you're always going to have good and bad people.
Yin and yang, always.
But we should always try to see the good in people before we see the bad, because I actually read an article that I shared on Twitter, written, posted by the Daily Mail, that made my head explode. And they wrote, it was a case for monkeypox. But the way they worded it was that they said, this person got monkeypox, or it was a kid that got monkeypox. Two infants got monkeypox, and they said that before the infants came to the hospital, they were around a gay person and a bisexual person, as if that had any relevance whatsoever. That it wasn't their sexuality that caused the monkeypox, but the way they wrote the article made it sound like it did, and that's the kind of shit that's gonna get innocent people killed. You know, like think the zombie virus, but without the zombie part. You just die. You know, and then people start burning bodies and killing infected people. Like, we don't want that shit.
Some people are absolutely ridiculous with their moral high ground they stand on.
You know, they're doing the same thing, just like not with viruses. They're now trying to say, oh, gay teachers are groomers and whatever. You know, it's...
Some are.
So, I mean, I won't deny that some are, but, like, that's like saying all priests are groomers. You know? But everybody just lets the priests, keep practicing Jesus.
They just shuffle them around.
Right, like, why is this, why are we trying to reframe a stereotype from, a few cases of creepy pedophiles?
Right.
Why does it have to be structured like that?
Exactly.
You extrapolate small substrata of people and create it into like a thing that it isn't.
Do you got an extra blue clip, Tim?
And that's how you get like fear campaigns and propaganda, you know?
Exactly. And what is news? 95% propaganda, 5% washed down truth.
Honestly, how dare Fox News and CNN and MSNBC call themselves news?
They're not even subjective.
Yeah.
They don't even look at both sides. Of the
Yeah,
story.
I mean, Fox News is just a right-wing thing. CNN is a stupid centrist, machine, where they're like, well, we have to play to both sides. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes one side is stupid, and if you played it neutral, you would make excuses for them. Thank you.
That's lemon water.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Tim makes that homemade. It supercharges you, bro. You'll feel a lot better after that. It's like taking a good healthy dose of electrolytes.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, anything that we just talked about, I'm sick of people standing on the moral high ground. I want to see them stand up for their individual values, not based upon where they were raised, not based upon their faith, not based upon a political party, what they themselves believe in.
I'd also like to point out that having a different set of ideals does not make you morally superior.
Yes.
It just makes you have a different set of values.
And
this,
opinions.
This higher, yeah. Like I mentioned in another video, I wish that we could get rid of this feeling of, this stupid hierarchy bullshit. But everybody is way too power hungry and loves the idea loves the idea of stepping on other people so that they can stand atop, King of the Hill style. And it's bullshit.
And anybody trying to climb up the hill to be good too, they push them down.
Mm-hmm.
Like my hill.
It's bullshit.
Exactly. You need to play Team King of the Hill. Halo.
Yeah. Lost the lead. Overkill.
Somebody's roasty toasty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good thing you ate, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
Anything else you're thinking about on that topic or any other different topics, bro? Anything you want to bring up? Congress is the House of Representatives in Congress just passed up to the Senate a bill for legal weed.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
As they're supposed to take it off the schedules. Federally.
Schedule 1 drug, yeah.
They're taking it off schedule completely. Same with CBD like Trump did.
CBD is already legal in all 50 states.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be classified the same as CBD, leaving it up to the states to enforce it, as it should be. Just like abortion, I think it should be up to the states. I don't think it should be up federally. I don't. I mean, I don't think abortion should be subsidized. I don't think anything like that should be subsidized. Neither should be your right to assemble, or your right to have a church, or anything, or your right to own a gun, whatever. You should not get money to do those free things. You know what I mean?
I think abortion access should be at least obtainable, though. That's why I agree with federally legalizing it. I mean, they already showed that literally all the southern states, would fucking ban it for stupid reasons. And the only reason why they got rid of Roe versus Wade was because of a stupid technicality. It wasn't even because we got new information or, I just disagree with it. No, they're literally going, well, constitutionally, it doesn't technically guarantee the right to an abortion. Like, what the fuck? You're really going to take away medical, a medical procedure for women because of a constitutional technicality.
Well, technically they should, but here's why. Because it's not the Constitution. Now, here's what could happen. Congress could put it as an amendment on the Constitution with a 90% majority. Am I correct? It's a 90% majority to add an amendment.
There is no more Democrat or Republican. I'm at the landfill. I grew up at there's state assemblies.
States' rights over everything. Yes. Federal is only supposed to help the states get along and help the states trade with each other and then help the states defend themselves against domestic
Hey, if
and
a state
foreign.
don't want abortion, move to a state that does. As simple as that.
Well, there's also states trying to ban that from happening. Yeah, like Mississippi, I think is one of them. They're literally trying to make it to where, like, if you go outside the state to get an abortion and then come back, you'll be arrested and charged with murder, which is bullshit. They actually just had a case in Texas where a woman had a miscarriage and was forced to carry a dead fetus inside her womb for 2 weeks, which put her at a very high risk of infection and would have fucking killed her.
Would have given her sepsis.
Like, yeah, like, is it really a big fucking mystery, like, why it should be legal? Like, oh, I don't get it. Like, it's not like a bunch of fucking teenagers are gonna be like, vacuum this shit out of me, doc. You know? Like, that's not how abortion is. Like, they did this study where, like, 90% of abortions happen before 15 weeks. That's
Because
before a brain develops, for crying out loud.
And the majority of those abortions are also what's called ectopic pregnancies, meaning the fetus won't survive outside of the womb. And there's also a chance that there's a big chance that the fetus won't survive inside the womb.
Yeah, well, there's also the teenagers making a stupid decision, but they shouldn't have their whole lives destroyed just because they made a stupid mistake. I mean, we were teenagers too. How many stupid things did we do?
I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
start.
exactly. So, like, should your whole life be ruined because you were a teenager and you did something stupid? No.
Well, what if that child grew up to be able to learn how to cure cancer?
So,
So,
yeah, so, I mean, all the people that American government drone strikes all the time could have been the guy that cured cancer.
exactly. So there's.
So, like,
Where do you draw the line between who gets to choose between life and death?
When you draw the line at anything, I'm sorry, here's a good argument that I like to insert. This is a devil's advocate. If you draw the line at anything else but conception, you can use that line to kill live human beings. Because if you say, oh, a brain function, oh, does that mean I can kill people in a coma? That's the devil advocate argument. It's rather short and shallow.
I was gonna say that's kind of a weird equivalency.
Well, that's the argument they make.
I was gonna say, like, if a
Sentience.
coma. I was gonna say a coma is the result, of like an accident or something. Whereas someone having a kid, there's so much context that could easily make the case why it should be a choice between the mother and the doctor, and that the government needs to butt out. It's weird that
I think if it's anything but rape, the father should have a say. I really do. Because if you're going to put him on the hook for child support, he should have a say throughout the pregnancy.
he's not the one carrying the kid though.
He helped father it, it's half his.
So
Hey, there's some judges that think men can have kids, so there's a Supreme Court
There's
judge
also
that
some
thinks that in
judge.
there.
Yes, there's also some judges in California
about
that want men to start paying child support while women are pregnant. All they got to do is say I'm pregnant, and he starts paying her money.
See, these liberals that took something that could have been nice for everybody and ruined it, just like everything.
Child support ruined the African American community, bro. Same with crack. They used crack and single moms to destroy so many communities.
actually, that was the CIA that got the
Yes.
African community
Yes.
addicted to crack.
And then what happened after that? If you watch after MLK Jr. died and after Malcolm X died, all the good standing civil leaders, after they all died, single
I
motherhood.
wouldn't say they were good. They had worked for Rothschild.
Some of them were good, but MLK did repent.
Yeah, that's why they killed him.
Yes.
Did at the end. Well, at least the Rothschilds were kind enough to give him a nice funeral. Think,
That Pineapple Express is so good, dude.
Yeah, I try not to be too conspiratorial, just because I like to have evidence in front of me. Because I mean, you could
We
say
have evidence.
I know you have evidence, but I haven't seen it, and until I confirm it, I have to be skeptical. Because you can tell literally anybody anything.
Hey, buddy, the sky's purple.
That's
Yeah,
why you gotta
know,
be
and so
dimensional
like
consciousness.
unless it's like tested and documented and all that stuff, I'm not gonna just believe it to me just because someone said I saw it.
That's
or,
the third dimension of consciousness thought.
You know, that's why I have a hard time, with, religion. While I do love the Nordic culture to death and everything, the mysticism part, still is something that I find skeptical, like agnostic about. No, I can't say for sure there's no such thing. Like, I'm agnostic about it.
Okay.
But I like to use it as like a philosophy, instead of taking it literally, like
Right.
most people take religion.
Well, I mean, let's use one example. Extremist Christians causing the Crusades, all four of them. What about extremist Muslims only being 5% of all Muslim culture? What about other extreme religions, like I said, extreme Christianity now?
Yeah, Christianity and Islam seem to be the two religions that come up in a lot of violence, huh? I mean, when's the last time you're like here watching the news and it's like Buddhist terrorists destroyed? Like, you don't see stories like that.
You will give me $1 million, or I will blow up your skyscraper.
I will send you to the good guy Buddha. Like, you don't see that
kill
shit.
me, I go to Buddha and celebrate for 1,000 years.
Yeah, or like some fucking Hindu that comes in and he's like, "Oh, you cannot kill me. I'll reincarnate as a cow." Like you don't hear stories like that,
Exactly, man.
But like when it comes to Muslim and Christians, they've been at each other's throats for
It's
centuries.
by design, just like
It's by
racism. It's by design.
I do agree that it is by design, only because there was that there was evidence in the 1950s where Iraq and a lot of the Middle East were starting to head in a more civilized direction,
Oh,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
United States government planted a puppet dictator so that they could get cheaper oil, and that's what led to the revolution in the 70s.
The Iranian Revolution, the Sharia evolution.
Something like that,
Revolution.
yeah.
The Sharia
and,
law.
Yeah, and it just basically kept going ever since because America keeps planting puppet dictators so that we can get cheaper oil. And it's
Exactly.
absolute bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually, I mean, it's pretty obvious the evidence that we have that it's not like the fucking Middle East is making weapons. They get those weapons because they're funded by who?
Us.
Us. We fund.
Russia, Europe.
I was gonna say there is, an
The
article.
same families have been funding every
There
single
was
war
an
since
article
Napoleon.
published that showed that America funds about 40% of the world's dictatorships.
Exactly.
Single-handedly.
There's been a multi-trillion-dollar family funding every single war, both sides, since Napoleon at least.
I mean, like
Since the French Revolution.
they did this poll where they showed it was a UN poll or something where they did a tally or they took a vote on which country is the biggest threat to world peace.
Oh,
Guess who ranked the highest?
us.
Yes.
Figured. Well, we're an oligarchy/corporation right now. We're on our way back to a constitution.
They're trying to make this country into a fucking business model, and only like rich, mafia bosses get to live here. That's what the American government is. They treat it like the mafia or like high school football. It's fucking lame.
Well, we gotta stand up and do something about it, bro.
Well, I know people talk about standing up and doing something about it, but a lot of activists nowadays,
Well, you can actually say you have marched for causes.
I have marched for causes, but one march doesn't make me an activist.
Well, then get out and do more then if you want.
I mean, I have this podcast. That's my abdication. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
There's also, I mean, I don't consider tweeting, activism just because, the government, they don't use Twitter, or if they do, it's just to like rub it in the American people's face that they're a senator or something.
Right. Well, that's not gonna last for much longer, bro. Term limits everything. It's all coming.
I mean, I agree 100% that Congress and the Senate, all government officials should have term limits. You know, because having one person or having a handful of people being able
They should
to,
only have enough money to have their bills covered.
well, like there's this,
Not 3 houses.
yeah, there's this amendment. I think it's the ninth one where it's basically says that the United States government's powers are not to exceed what lies in this document, and they've far gone beyond the authority of said document.
Yes, they have.
And so,
Since the War of 1812, they have.
yeah, and so I would definitely argue
Especially
that,
for the Civil War.
you know, because of that, we can make the case that we can set term limits for Congress and the Senate. You know, because I feel like
The
the biggest,
precedence of term limits is the president.
yeah, like, you know, if I watched this clip of George Carlin and doing his stand up.
I love George Carlin. I miss him.
He's a good actor and comedian and writer.
Yep.
He had such a way with the English language, and he was.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. But I liked how he talked about. I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about George Carlin and how he was talking about something. Was it in the 80s or the 90s that he was talking about it?
Yeah.
What was the topic? Something to do with the government?
Yeah.
Term limits?
Oh, human rights.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he was talking about, boy, everybody in this country is yammering about their fucking rights. You know, I have a right, you have no right, I have a right. I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights. You know, they're privileges, and you know, but the idea of rights, they're a fictional. They're a cute idea, cute, but that's all they are. Because anybody that has the power to take away someone's right to do something,
That's not a right, it's a privilege.
it's a privilege. You know,
You're privileged to drive.
right?
You're privileged to vote. You're privileged to own a gun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A gay couple should be able to smoke a couple joints at their wedding while holding a couple AR-15s while watching their pot plants grow. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want to get really crazy with this shit, I wouldn't mind seeing like a tranny, you know, marrying an extreme Muslim, you know, both having firearms, and then like their guests scream "Ah!" into the fucking sky while they're all smoking weed.
Or cot.
Yeah, or taking shrooms.
Or DMT.
Yeah. You know, like they should have the right to do that because it hurts literally nobody except them.
I'm sorry, I know this is trademark, but have you tried DMT?
No, I haven't.
It's fun.
I know.
So is ayahuasca tea.
Mm.
It's 25 minutes maybe. Oops.
We're actually at 30 minutes.
Good. Cool.
All right.
Time limit on it or something?
No, there's no time limit. I'm just trying to keep it, you know, I don't want to make it like too ridiculously long. But I guess we're done for the time being. Have a good day. I'm Ace. I'll see you next time.
I'm Mags. 420, 7 times, boys and girls.